What's going on, everyone? So today we are going to install the Open5gs 4G/5G core infrastructure. We're going to be running it on Docker on top of a Ubuntu 24.04 instance. I'm not going to get too deep into the theory of how Open5gs works or how LTE EPCs work. If you're looking at this video, you probably already have some idea of, how these things work and what you want to do with them. And in a later video, I will go more in depth into the technology, and we'll get it hooked up to actual physical radio hardware. But for now, we're just gonna jump right in. So we have a fresh install of Ubuntu 22.04 with almost nothing installed on it. I mean, just basic utilities. So first thing you want to make sure is you got your IP addresses set up. So we'll do nano, etc, netplan, and the cloud int file. This is what I have right now. I'm just using DHCP to grab an IP address. In your setup, you're gonna want to probably set a static IP address. So that's all good. All right. First thing is first. Let's set my host name. Hostname control. Hostname Open5gs test. And then we need to install Docker. We'll use the Docker convenient script to power through that. And I will be back once it's installed. Alright, it is finishing up the install right now of Docker. Should be any second now. And I do apologize, there are going to be a lot of pauses in this video. Some of the Docker containers take a while to build, and I don't want to make you sit through, watching a screen do nothing. It's still building. It's taking its time today. There we go. Alright, let's just make sure Docker's actually running. Let's see if we can run any Docker commands. We can, that's great. Alright, next thing I want to do is create a working folder to put everything in. So I'm just going to make a folder at the root here. We'll call it Open5gs. Let's change directory into that. Okay, so that's where we are right now. And next, we're going to want to clone the repository from GitHub for Open5gs. See that command there? Fantastic. Alright, we've cloned into it. Let's move into that folder. First thing we need to do is build the base Docker containers for Open5gs. So let's cd into the base folder. Whoops. Let's cd into the base folder. We're going to run the docker build command to build these containers. So what it's going to do is it's going to build all the base Open5gs containers right now locally. And this is going to take quite a while. It has a lot to compile. So we will pause for now. I'll be back when it's done building. Alright, we're back. That took 15 minutes to build. There was a lot there. So let's pop out of that directory now. And we need to build the IMS next, which is the IP multimedia subsystem that kind of handles like VoLTE, VoNR, all those IP calling functions, just because 4G doesn't have a native calling system built into it. It needs to rely on the IMS. So let's move into the IMS directory. And we're going to build everything. So that's going to build, who knows how long this one's going to take. I probably just as long. We'll just let this run for a second. Let's see how long it's going to go for. Yeah, so this one looks like it's going to take a bit as well. So I'm going to pause us here, and once again, I will be back after these images are built. Alright, so that one took a little under 15 minutes to build as well. Starting to see the pattern here. Alright, next thing we need to do, let's pop out of this folder back into the base project folder. And now we need to build all the little hanging components that we haven't built yet. So far we've built the base Open5gs containers, we've built the IMS base containers, and now what's left is kind of a bunch of extra things that need to be added on to glue everything together. And we're going to do that right now. This is, let's see, 37 steps, so that's probably going to take about 15 minutes as well. So that's, I'm thinking 45 minutes total in building containers. Fun. Alright, once again, let's pause and we'll be back once this is done building. I promise we're almost there. Alright, that one took, I don't know, 6 minutes or so, but I promise we're all done building containers. Everything's built. We can move on to some configuration now. Okay, so we're gonna wanna, where are we? We are still in the base folder. We need to edit our environmental file now to do some basic settings that are required for the Open5gs core to start running. So we're gonna do a nano.env. This is where all the settings are that control all these containers. So let's set some important things. The MCC and the MNC is your way to identify the network. I'm going to do the CBRS 1315010. That's the national code for CBRS private LTE. We can leave the TAC as 1. Alright, next really important thing to set is the Docker host IP. So actually, let me save this. I already forgot what my IP is. 73. Let's go back. 172.16.1.73. Another thing we want to add in here is we need to do the SGWU IP, and that's going to be the same as the host IP. Oops. Alright, so that's good. It's good. So the only other thing that you can change if you want is these right here. So when LTE endpoint attaches to the network, this is the IP range that's going to be assigned for the internet APN. So every phone that attaches to the network will get an IP out of this range. And then what's going to happen on the host side is that there's a NAT rule that takes all this traffic sourced from this network and NAT overloads it to your outside interface on your host, which would be the host right here. This IP address is where all the traffic would actually be coming from. So you can change that if you want. You don't have to, but I'm going to leave it. Let's save that. Okay, next thing we need to do, we need to edit the actual Docker Compose file and expose the S1 MME interface and the S1 user plane interface. And just to give you some context, I'm going to show you what that is. So for all intents and purposes, everything in this square here and this square here is all virtualized inside of Docker. So all these interfaces, all these ports, all this, they just run on loopback interfaces. But if you're using real radio hardware, you know, a real Bowie cells or a Nokia or whatever radio you're using, you have to expose a couple interfaces. So one being the S1 MME interface and the S1 user plane interface. So these two interfaces right here are required to get your 4G radio eNodeB to attach. And then for, if you're doing 5G, for G node B, you need to have your N2 and N3 interfaces exposed. So N2 is from the AMF, the N3 is from the UPF. So these are both basically packet gateways, and it routes your data traffic out to the internet and also to the IMS if you're doing IMS media services. And then the X2 interface right here, that's how user element basically migrates between a 4G to 5G network. So it's what you would call an X2 handover interface. So when I want to roam from my 4G to my 5G node, some signaling goes over this X2 interface between the actual radios, and that's how that's facilitated. So, all right, now that you've seen that, kind of understand what's happening here, let us edit that file and expose those two ports. Nano 4G volt deploy.yaml. This is the actual YAML Docker deploy file that shows how everything is all glued together here. So first thing, we need to do the MME S1 port. So that is going to be under MME. So under the MME section, I just pointed at the screen as if you were behind me. All right, and then you'll see these ports right here are commented out. Just need to undo that and format it rightly. So that takes care of the S1 MME interface, and now we need to do the S1 user plane interface, and that's under SGWU. Let's see, SGWU right here. Comment that out. Comment that out. And let's save it. Perfect. All right, so now we have exposed those necessary ports for real radio equipment to attach to this core. So the next thing we're going to do is we need to enable IP forwarding. So this command right here, we're going to inject all our environmental variables from the env file and put it into our session. We're going to disable the firewall, and then we're going to enable, we got a syscontrol command here that's going to enable IPv4 forwarding on the host itself, and that's how the UE traffic is going to get out to the internet. Let's do that. Oh, and of course, if you don't have UFW, just ignore that failure right there. Just to make sure it went, let's just remove it just to be sure. That's good. It echoed out. It echoed out what it put into syscontrol. And now we are on to the final step. Bring everything up and run it. So this is gonna take a minute, but I will, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna, do I wanna let you sit here and watch this? What do you guys think? Probably not. I'll just, I'll come back when it's started up. Alright, we're back. Everything has started up. We got a lot of junk on the terminal here. The first time I ran this command, you'll notice that I did it in non-detached mode, so it shows us all the logs from the startup. So I like to, let me detach this first. So that was a command I run. When you guys run it for the first time, I would run it without the TACD, just so you can see everything come up and make sure it's good. It takes a while for everything to initialize, but once you know that it's working, you can rerun this command with the TACD to run it in detached mode. Alright, so if I do a docker ps, we'll see that everything is up, our ports are exposed. If you want to see a specific container and what's happening, docker logs MME. You can see it shows you everything that's going on, or what else? There's just so many. If you want to see like the Pi HSS, docker logs Pi HSS. See this? You get the point. So the name is underneath right here, and that's how you can see what's going on. So now that this is running, there's also a web interface, which you guys will probably find interesting. Let's pop into the browser here. this is the URL. So it's going to be your Docker host IP followed by quad 9. Boom. Open5gs. Admin is the default username. 1423 is the password. And you can see you can add your subscribers, set your IMSI, your K key, your OPC. You can set your APNs here. You'll see this is already configured with some defaults here, but you would need to configure an IPv4 APN to get the internet working. So all of this stuff we will cover in the next video. I will show you guys how to connect this Open5gs core to some, I don't know, either some Bowie Cells radios or maybe some more high-end equipment like a Nokia microcell or maybe an Ericsson radio. I haven't decided yet. But also the other thing is, so you can see I've been working out this command sheet here because, you know, no one's magic. I can't memorize all this, can you? I will post a link in the YouTube section there that has all these commands. Sorry, my voice is starting to break. I'm talking too much, I guess. But that is about. Oh, you know, one more thing you're probably going to want to know is there is. Let me go back to this. The Pi HSS Swagger interface here. So it's on 8080. So what is it? /admin. Am I really gonna have to look this up? Open5gs Pi HSS URL. Let's see. Dockerize VOLT setup. Of course, that's not it. I need the GitHub, I think. Cannot for the life of me remember what that URL is. So Open5gs Docker. I believe it's in here somewhere. Just bear with me. Docs. Such a weird URL. So this is the Swagger URI for Pi HSS, and this is where you'll be doing a lot of configuration. You're gonna have to add SIM cards and all kinds of stuff into this to get VOLT working, if that's your cup of tea. But I just wanted to make sure you guys knew that was running as well. And there are a bunch of other services running in the background, and you can see what all those are if you go to this link right here. See, all kinds of stuff. And there's a pretty detailed guide here to deploy different stacks. And another one we'll do later is the SMS over the SG interface to allow SMS and MMS services over LTE, which is kind of neat. Then that uses that uses a bunch of different things, but mostly the Osmocom stack in the background. But all right, I'm ranting now, so everything works. Next video, like I said, we'll do some more configuration and do some radio hardware, some real radio hardware hooked to it. But that's it for now. See you guys.